Hey, man. I was never supposed to do.
What you been drinking?
So this is the position that Christian told me to put me into, okay? Because he's a coward, and I don't want anything to do with him at this point going forward.
Basically, she was saying that people need to leave you alone, and that, you know, you guys were both toxic together, and take things off of the media and let's not bring it on social media. That's what I got from the conversation.
Then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so
Nike can't cover for Sha'Carri Richardson forever. Not this time. She's danced through scandals before, but this one's a whole different monster. Forget whispers and rumors. This is crystal clear leaked footage in 4K showing her going completely off the rails. And if that wasn't enough, police reports are out too, stacking serious accusations that she crossed way past the line. Now fans are heated, asking the same question over and over. If Nike has dropped male athletes for scandals nowhere near this messy, then why is Sha'Carri still their prized face of the brand? The whole storm kicked off at Seattle Tacoma International when cameras caught her shoving her boyfriend, Christian Coleman, right before a flight. And that was only the spark. At first, the internet treated it like a couple's argument gone public. But once police stepped in and that body cam footage leaked, everything flipped. The video showed it wasn't some back and forth. It was Sha'Carri coming in aggressive while Christian kept his hands down, not even reacting. She just kept pressing forward like she owned the scene. And when cops finally stepped in, Sha'Carri tried to rewrite the story right on the spot. You can hear her yelling, "I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now? Okay, you're under arrest for, but I didn't even hit him though." The footage left no mystery. And fans can't believe Nike is staying silent through all this chaos. On camera, Sha'Carri pulled every move she could think of. First, she turned it on Christian, calling him weak, labeling him the problem, and demanding he stand up for her. When that didn't stick, she switched stories fast, suddenly claiming she never even touched him, even though the footage told a whole different story. The moment she realized the narrative was slipping away, her voice got louder, her energy sharper, and suddenly the police were her new target. At one point, she even shouted, "Why am I the one being arrested? Christian is the man!" Then came the jaw-dropper. She admitted she'd been drinking and blurted out, "I don't want anything to do with him going forward." For a lot of fans, that was the last straw. That's when the spotlight shifted straight onto her sponsors, with Nike taking the biggest hit. People started firing back with, "Choices have consequences," and now many believe the brand won't be able to dodge the firestorm this time. The body cam footage even caught her snapping at Christian in the middle of the chaos. "Harder! Harder, Christian! Are you serious right now?" The scene was wild, unfiltered, and impossible for her team to spin into something harmless. And here's the twist. This arrest wasn't just about one ugly fight in an airport. Nope. Fans say Sha'Carri has been scripting her own downfall step by step, and her teammates and coaches have plenty to say about it too. But before we dig into all that, the real curveball came from Christian himself. Instead of pressing charges, he shocked everybody by defending Sha'Carri. In an interview just days later, he doubled down, saying she didn't deserve punishment. What she needed was grace and understanding. Maybe in Christian's mind, defending Sha'Carri was just him trying to be a loyal boyfriend? But fans weren't buying it. Viewers picked apart his every move during that interview, and what they saw had people uneasy. He couldn't stay still. His eyes kept darting side to side, and he barely looked into the camera. To many, it didn't look like love. It looked like fear. Almost like Sha'Carri had some kind of hold over him, making him back her no matter what, even if it cost him his peace of mind and his reputation. And the internet wasted zero time calling it out. Comedian Corey Holcomb went in on his podcast, flat out accusing Sha'Carri of flipping the victim card. He claimed she knew exactly how to twist the system on Christian, pointing out how the footage clearly showed she was the one putting hands on him, only to spin it like she was the one under attack once the cameras came out. Looking at the footage, it was hard to argue. Corey's take matched what fans were already whispering. Christian's shaky defense didn't come across like a man proudly protecting his girlfriend. It looked like someone who had been through this before, maybe more than once. And that's when things got even darker. People stopped treating the airport blow-up as just some random one-off fight. Instead, they started connecting the dots, wondering if Christian had been living with this for a long time behind closed doors. One fan dropped a blunt comment that summed it up perfectly. Not only did he defend her, he refused to press charges. "There's no way I'd stay with a woman who put hands on me in public like that. She'd be done instantly." Another fan jumped in saying, "That relationship would be over. I'd be risking everything, my career, my freedom. If we fought again and I ended up accused of DV, not worth it at all." And here's where it got even wilder, because Christian's silence didn't just look like he was shielding Sha'Carri. He's not the first partner to suggest she's got a history of flipping the script whenever things go south. Once that suspicion started spreading, fans began pulling receipts from her past, and the story only got darker. Her ex, Jamaican hurdler Janique Brown, once opened up in a raw interview that's now resurfacing. And it's hitting way harder today. Janique described their relationship as toxic from top to bottom, mentally, verbally, and even physically. She admitted the drama wasn't all one-sided, but she made it clear that the weight she carried from that chapter was heavy. According to Janique, she had been threatened, silenced, and even blamed when Sha'Carri allegedly turned the internet against her. And here's the plot twist. This wasn't just talk. Years back, Sha'Carri blasted out a long Instagram story, painting herself as the victim and pulling sympathy her way. Meanwhile, Janique was dragged online, blackballed in certain circles, and painted as the villain.
She didn't say that?
Oh, what?
Oh, she did.
You think she didn't say, oh, as they were kicking her off, she said, "Oh, y'all just don't know who I am."
I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now? Okay.
Under arrest for DV.
I didn't know him though.
Video camera.
Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have, like, things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like, everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just, like, extending grace and mercy and love.
Only later did she clap back, calling Sha'Carri's version of events calculated and accusing her of protecting her own image by tearing Janique's reputation apart instead. Sound familiar? That's exactly why so many people now believe what's happening with Christian is part of the same pattern all over again. Sha'Carri literally asked cops, "Why am I the one being arrested?" Even though the full video clearly showed Christian not laying a single hand on her. In her mind, it was him who should have been cuffed, not her. Now the internet's running with one savage question. If she lied on Janique back then and walked away clean, is this finally the moment where the truth catches up to her? Fans are convinced the receipts are way too clear this time to brush under the rug. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get uglier, Sha'Carri dropped an apology video that sent the backlash into overdrive. The issue wasn't only the weak words, which sounded like a whole bunch of nothing, but her delivery. Fans pointed out how it looked straight up scripted, like a PR stunt she was forced to read off. And her body language? Completely off. Who smiles through an apology, then spins it around, saying people simply misunderstood her? In classic dramatic fashion, she wrapped it by saying, "I love him, and to him, I can't apologize enough." That line lit the internet on fire. The reigning 100-meter world champ even clapped back on Instagram in all caps. Her apology should be just as loud as her actions. Once those clips hit timelines, the drag session was ruthless. Nobody was holding back. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. The internet was roasting her from every angle. One viral tweet flat out said, "Dang, imagine what she does in private." Another fan dragged her apology as fake, pointing out how she smiled through the whole thing like she was cracking a joke instead of addressing something serious. And then came the hardest hit. If the roles were reversed, his career would have been buried already. The word that kept popping up everywhere was pattern. Fans swore this wasn't some brand new scandal. It was the same cycle repeating over and over again. And just when people thought Sha'Carri's weak apology was the low point, Nike came through and threw gasoline on the fire. Instead of pulling back or freezing campaigns, they actually doubled down, dropping fresh promo featuring her just days after the arrest. Sha'Carri was splashed all over Nike's homepage, front and center, showing off her new shoe like nothing had gone down. No statement, no acknowledgement, just silence. But a silence that screamed support, and it had fans heated beyond belief. That's when people started dragging the double standard. They pointed out how Caitlin Clark, one of the biggest rising names in women's sports, has barely gotten any shine from Nike since signing. No signature sneaker, no major rollouts, nothing. Yet Sha'Carri, who was literally caught on camera putting hands on her boyfriend, is still being pushed as the star face of the brand. One furious post summed it up perfectly. Corporate sponsors like Nike claim they have zero tolerance for domestic violence, but they're dead silent on Sha'Carri Richardson. If this isn't crossing the line, then what even is? Some fans didn't sugarcoat it at all. They said Nike knows exactly what game it's playing. To them, Sha'Carri's whole brand has thrived on controversy. From that weed suspension that made worldwide headlines to her fiery, unfiltered personality both on and off the track. And whether people love her or hate her, Nike knows one thing for sure: drama sells. One critic nailed it, saying, "Sha'Carri Richardson keeps bringing more eyes to the sport, and Nike makes sure they cash in on it." Nike proved it before. They stood by her through the weed penalty, launched her a full-blown comeback campaign, and plastered her face in commercials like she was bulletproof. When fans demanded answers, Nike hit them with the weakest statement ever, and instead of calming anyone down, it only made people more furious. The message was loud and clear: Nike isn't clueless, they know exactly what's happening, they just don't care as long as the money keeps flowing. That's what triggered the biggest debate yet, the double standard. Corey Holcomb spelled it out. If Sha'Carri were a man caught on camera shoving his girlfriend, those sponsorships would vanish instantly. No debate. Fans co-signed heavy, pointing to athletes who lost everything off just one allegation. No footage, no proof. While Sha'Carri, with crystal clear video against her, is still sitting pretty as a superstar. People also started pulling receipts on Nike's history, reminding everyone of how selective their outrage has always been. Some athletes got erased from campaigns overnight, while others, like Sha'Carri, got a pass when the controversy was profitable. To fans, it was the same old story. Cash comes first, morals come last. And that's why the heat isn't just on Sha'Carri anymore. It's on Nike too. Because let's be real, this isn't just about one messy airport fight. It's about years of drama that Sha'Carri somehow managed to sprint past. Until now, when the whole machine protecting her is finally getting called out. Even the whispers from teammates, stories about disrespect, tension, and behind-the-scenes chaos got brushed aside, all because her talent and marketability kept her untouchable. But what really has people shook is what she might be holding over her boyfriend Christian. Those shaky interviews, the long, awkward silences. Fans say it doesn't look like nerves anymore. It looks like proof he's been stuck in something way deeper and longer than anybody imagined. But strip it all down, and this is really about Nike. A company that loves to scream about values in every commercial, while fans say their only real value is profit. First, second, and third. The fact that they're still pushing Sha'Carri as the face of their brand in the middle of all this madness tells people exactly where their loyalty lies. And here's the reality right now. Sha'Carri is silent. Nike is silent. Christian is silent. The only ones speaking are the fans, and they're louder than ever. Once again, Nike just proved one brutal truth. Scandal sells. If you stuck with me to the end, make sure to hit that like button, smash subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with anyone keeping up with this wild saga. And of course, click one of the boxes on your screen right now to watch more. See you in the next one.